All right, it's time now for Media Watch. Hala Mohiuddin is here in the studio. She's been scouring online for reaction to the top stories today. Good to see you, Hala. We're going to start, of course, with the Brexit debate. Now, a lot has been made, of course, about the tone of the debate on both sides, fear-mongering on one and anti-immigrant rhetoric on the other. There's been so many low points in this campaign, hasn't there? Notably the tragic murder of Joe Cox last week, which really seemed to have turned the page in the tone of it. We've also had that UKIP poster that Nigel Farage was standing in front of, and today the deflection of Baroness Warsi to the other side.
Indeed, something which has provoked some reaction of its own. Low points and high points. If we start with the high point, lots of discussion on Twitter about the tributes paid in the Houses of Commons. We can see the roses of Yorkshire are littering the benches, lots of MPs wearing the roses, and of course the debate itself was marked by a sense of respect and calm. There was none of the usual yelling across the chamber at each other, and that's something that's been really picked up in the Twitter sphere. But as you mentioned, that defection, the high-profile defection of Baroness Warsi, who switched sides, she said, because of the hate and xenophobia of the Leave campaign, well, that has triggered, almost one could argue, more hate and xenophobia. Saida Warsi was tweeting a lot of the almost Islamophobic abuse that she received in response to her decision to switch sides. Now, many Brexiteers are unhappy with the profile this has been given that she wasn't particularly high profile a campaigner for the Leave side,
right,
but none of this.
They didn't even know she was on their side.
Indeed, which is true, and you can understand the frustration that this defection, inverted commas, has provoked. But that doesn't excuse some of the tweets that we have been seeing, and it really is lowering the tone of the debate in quite an atrocious manner. We're also seeing as well people citing the memory of Joe Cox. An unpleasant tweet here from National Action, and this is the thing. These are the kind of supporters that Vote Leave are attracting with their rhetoric. That's one Twitter user, and it's not just it's also commentators. Alex Massey, well-known right-wing commentator. He published that piece criticising the tone of the debate on Friday. They had to stop comments on it just because of the reaction it was receiving. Now, here he's responding to those criticisms, saying that, the UK has hit a low point. It's unfair to argue that people who are wanting to vote to leave the EU are all racist. But when you refuse to denounce the rhetoric, when you get tarred with that same brush, Nigel Farage and his motley crew don't speak for everyone, he says, but you need to make a difference in your arguments. He also says in this piece that modern Britain isn't as bad as people are making out. You have to make the argument for why it works, otherwise you risk being tarred with that. And this is a left-wing commentator on air this morning saying he feels sorry for the Leave voters. They're betrayed almost by the way the debate has been turning. James O'Brien there saying that there's more to supporting Brexit than being racist. He knows many people with good reasons to leave who must be feeling rotten, betrayed, dispossessed and unrepresented by this campaign.
Okay, so, and Saida Warsi was one of them, and she said that early on she was buoyed by a real energy about what the vision of Britain outside the European Union, but she as well saying that it's all kind of degenerated into racist mudslinging. We are in the final phase, though, aren't we? We've only got a few days to go. Everyone has an opinion, it seems.
Everyone does have an opinion. One of those appalled with the level of debate is Benson here. He's unhappy at the level of debate over such a major decision for the UK. He's just one of tens of thousands of hashtag cats against Brexit who've been trending this afternoon. It's been one of the top trending...
Eurocats.
Eurocats, another one. But this is one of the top trending hashtags for a good few hours. And to be honest, the pets seem to be making a better job of making their arguments. We have one cat saying it's no fun being on the outside looking in. This cat saying, he's against Brexit because getting a passport photo is really hard, invoking the idea that we'll need to start getting visas soon to travel backwards and forwards through Britain and Europe. Hilda here, not easily fooled by propaganda. But it's also also important to note that the other side is represented here. If we move on, the other trending hashtag is dogs who are for Brexit. This chap here is unhappy. He says, is that the truth, or did David Cameron invent it? Another dog for Brexit who say, take that, you feline fascists.
Wow.
And this dog essentially is just saying that this is the real trouble for British voters. Cats against Brexit are so adorable, but dogs for Brexit are just as endearing.
So it all comes down to whether you're a dog person or a cat person.
Very difficult decision.
If only it was so simple. Hala, thank you very much indeed. Hala Mohieddin there.